Tonight, I am going to tell you one such story. A story where fear slowly follows you, watches you, learns you, and then steps into the light. This is not a story you listen to casually. This is a story you survive. Fear does not come from what you see. It comes from what you remember. And when something finally appears in front of you, fear disappears. That is when terror begins. Tonight, I am going to tell you one such story. A story where fear slowly follows you, watches you, learns you, and then steps into the light. This is not a story you listen to casually. This is a story you survive. This story takes place in a forgotten forest region of Arizona, near the borders of New Mexico, in the United States of America. A place where GPS signals fail. A place where maps show land, but locals see death. A place where trees have stood long enough to remember everything. This is the story of a man named James. James was powerful, successful, untouchable. He owned a global construction company known for taking projects no one else dared to touch. Remote locations, abandoned land, isolated zones. Their work existed where others refused to go. But power brings one unavoidable fear, the fear of legacy. James had built everything from nothing, but his son, David, had never built anything at all. David lived comfortably. He moved through life without resistance. He believed responsibility would wait for him forever. And James knew this. For nights, James couldn't sleep. Not because of enemies, but because of his own blood. Then came the project, a redevelopment site in the United States, deep inside a protected forest region. A wooden house, long abandoned, now approved for reconstruction. No surrounding population. No interference. Perfect for testing David. James made his decision. David would go. To guide him, James assigned Leo, David's cousin, calm, intelligent, reliable. Leo was everything James wanted David to become. David trusted Leo completely. Leo trained David, explained the project, the location, the risks. Before leaving, Leo said something strange. Some places don't want to be rebuilt. David laughed it off. Leo left for the US first. For a few days, everything was normal. Emails, updates, photos of the house, names of 3 local laborers. Then, silence. No messages, no calls, nothing. When he arrived in New Mexico, the city felt alive, loud, safe, normal. But the moment the car left the highway and entered the forest route, everything changed. The driver slowed down, the radio died, trees closed in. When David asked how far the site was, the driver said quietly, "I don't go there." David was dropped at the forest edge. From that point onward, the forest watched him walk in. The air was wrong, too still, no insects, no birds, just silence so deep it felt heavy. Then he saw the house, a wooden cabin, perfectly intact, not broken, not decayed, as if it was waiting. Inside, 3 laborers were already working. They smiled, but their eyes didn't. They said Leo hired them. When David asked where Leo was, they didn't answer. They just looked at each other. That night, the forest spoke. A knock at the door. No one outside. Another knock. A laborer stepped out and didn't return. When they found him, he was standing near the gate, motionless, staring at the house, breathing, but not blinking. The laborers whispered, "Sir, this place is cursed." David denied it. The second knock came louder. Another laborer went outside. Silence. Then the third one followed, without speaking, like something had called him. David watched them from the window. All 3 stood outside, facing the house, not moving, not human. The owner's call finally connected. His voice was shaking. "If you want to live, go to the basement. Left side only, never the right." The call ended. In the basement, David found weapons, poisoned arrows, a note. "Do not hesitate." From above came growls, not animal, not human. Shadows changed shape. Bodies moved wrong. David saw it then. These weren't ghosts. They were something older, something that learned how to look like us. The fight that followed was not heroic. It was desperate, bloody, wild. Creatures screamed as they died, returning briefly to their real forms. Then Leo appeared, injured, bleeding, calling David's name. David ran to him, and at the last moment, he saw it. Leo's reflection didn't match his body. David acted. When it was over, the forest fell silent again. In the right basement, the truth waited. 4 bodies. The real ones. The forest had been feeding for years. Authorities erased the incident, classified everything. The owner vanished. The forest remains. And even today, locals say, if someone knocks on your door in the middle of the night, do not open it. Because fear doesn't knock to scare you. It knocks to be invited in. Fear. Fear is not loud. Fear does not announce itself. Fear waits. Even when you are alone, truly alone, you still feel it. Sitting in silence, doing nothing, yet your heart tells you that something is nearby. Not visible, not audible, just present. You try to ignore it, but the feeling doesn't leave, because as I said earlier, fear does not come from what you see. It comes from what you remember, and also what you heard is completely fictional. But every legend begins the same way. Someone experiences something that others refuse to believe. Think of this not as a story, but as a warning. Stay alert.